Hello, friends. Shalom. Thank you so much for inviting me again. It's always a pleasure to speak here at J Street. Knowing that Israel has friends abroad supporting us is heartwarming. And I'm even more encouraged to see so many young people in the audience. That's for you. There is always a sense of optimism here at J Street, an atmosphere of shared purpose, committed to a stronger Israel based on values of peace, social justice, and fairness. I've been here twice before, and every time I've drawn hope and encouragement. This time, it seems, I will have to do some encouraging. Because since I arrived in the United States, I've heard a frustration that I haven't heard in the past. Beyond frustration, almost despair. The frustration, my friends, is natural. This is not the result that we hoped for. But despair, this we cannot afford. Last time I spoke at this conference, I had just taken part in the largest social justice protest movement in Israel. As one of the leaders of the movement, I came here to tell you that people had protested on the streets, had put their inner conflict aside, and stood united as an equal society. We knew no fear. We knew history was being made. We stood in solidarity with each other. At the time, like many other young Israelis, I didn't see the political establishment as a place for us. Young Israelis, idealists, activists, dreamers. I thought it was too corrupt, too disconnected. This feeling shared by so many in Israel is a direct result of the past 20 years of right-wing governments. Governments that, in order to maintain the status quo, both politically and economically, did everything they could in order to frighten us of change. A few weeks ago, during the election campaign, I sat on a panel discussion with the head of the coalition, Likud member Zev Elkin. The panel was discussing why Prime Minister Netanyahu's government hadn't solved the housing problem and what their solution was to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Elkin retorted that it's about time Israelis stop believing in rosy dreams. Stop believing in dreams. This is, in one sentence, what Netanyahu has been telling us for years. This is the reason, my friends, why he got that amount of support. His aim is to maintain the status quo. It's his political strategy. His means? Make Israelis believe that this is security, that managing the conflict, including repeated cycles of terrors and wars, is the best security that we can have. That every other plan is dreamy or impossible. This is also the reason why the camp that I'm part of was not able to get enough votes. We simply didn't give Israelis a clear enough picture of what dream we have for a better future. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time we do. This is our mission, to get our people, after so many years of fear and stagnation, to be courageous enough to dream of a better Israel. Today, I come here as the youngest member of Knesset. And look, in Israel's strange political reality, at 29, I'm already embarking on my second term. 2 years ago, soon after I entered the Knesset Finance Committee as an opposition member, I discovered, and what I'm about to say is really important, that Israel actually has two budgets. One that is legal, and another that is secret, that politicians have been playing with, passing over billions of shekels to political projects which distort our reality and tear at the very fabric of our society. Using this corrupt system, the government could make cuts in social services and break the social security net that every Israeli deserves and hide the information from public scrutiny. Using this corrupt system, the Israeli government could hold negotiations with the Palestinians while secretly transferring billions of shekels to the settlements. At the same time, you wouldn't believe how much money went to hilltop settlements at the expense of the poor of Israel's periphery and the many cities and communities in the Negev, in the Galil, inside the Green Line. This secret system allowed right-wing politicians to make our tax money their own, using our money to penetrate our children's schools, neighborhoods, and synagogues to build up their political power. When I started to fight this corruption, I was advised by more experienced politicians to stop. We have been doing this for decades, they told me. Don't touch it. Your political career will end. I was only an opposition member with not much hands-on experience, but what I discovered was just too disturbing to give up. Within weeks, I recruited dozens of volunteers using social networks, and together, we built an army of transparency, investigating every number in the budget, forcing the finance ministry to provide answers on missing money transfers, creating the technologies that enable the public to see the real actions of our government. After a year-long fight, we managed to make Israeli budget transparent for the first time in history. We blocked the right from transferring funds illegally to their political allies. We started to control where our money was going. We made crucial steps that will ensure that in the future, our money will be invested in schools, in hospitals, in public transportation, in our welfare system. And you know what this fight showed me? It showed me that when we come together, we are able to make a change. Dreaming about a better Israel, about an Israel of equality, of peace and security, of true freedom, are not just rosy dreams. These are dreams that serious politicians must make a reality. This is the role of politics, to make every effort to find the pragmatic ways of making dreams come true. That's what the founders of Zionism did when they dreamed of our country. They dared to believe in the right of the Jewish people to a place of their own, in independence. Zionism allowed us to build a state, a right given to a very few in history. The very essence of the movement was based on the idea that change was not impossible. The mission of my generation, of our generation, is to make this dream complete. Our mission is to decide what Israel is. Friends, we have to make a choice. The choice between two distinct visions, two distinct alternatives. The vision from the right is one in which the enemy is always at the gate and the fifth column is always inside. It is a vision of a constant battle against demons, real or imagined. The far-right Israel is one in which settlers and other special interest groups are bestowed to the public without transparency and without the public's consent. It is a land of corruption, despair, and fear. The far-right Israel is an increasingly intolerant state where LGBT couples are not treated as equals and where religious extremists indoctrinate children in our schools. It is a society where minorities are considered a threat, even when they want to exercise their right as citizens and vote. This abandons every ideal that Zionism has fought for, and it doesn't end there. The right is prepared to relinquish the very Zionist idea of solidarity, of looking after one another, of taking care of the weakest members of our society for their own political victory. This is not the Israel desired by the great majority of its citizens. This is not the future that we want. Our vision is the polar opposite of Netanyahu's, but it must be just as articulate and just as vocal. We want an Israel that celebrates diversity, where tolerance is not a weakness, it's a strength. We want an Israel that treats its poor with compassion. We want an Israel that treats its minorities with respect. We will not stay silent to racist trends. We want an Israel that treats every citizen as equal, regardless of their origin, religion, or financial status. We want an Israel where public officials are held accountable and where public money is distributed with transparency. And above all, we want an Israel that does not control millions of Palestinians. We want an Israel that is constantly working for peace. We want it because it's right, and we want it because it's necessary for the security and the sustainability of our beloved country. The people of Israel deserve it. This is what the Zionist dream is all about. Friends, this mission is important. Therefore, we don't have the privilege to despair. My friends, Israel faces great challenges and very real threats. We need to say clearly, Iran is a problem, Hezbollah is a problem, Hamas is a problem, ISIS is an hour's drive away. But we should not forget, we are no longer wanderers. We are a strong country with a strong army. We have the power to create a better reality. We believe in diplomacy and peace, not because we are oblivious to these threats, but because we take them seriously. Because we know that diplomacy is part of what is required in order to face them successfully. Take the threat of a nuclear Iran. It's a clear threat to Israel, and it's a clear threat to the entire world. Yet, by turning our back on our friends, by interfering with our closest allies, we're playing into the hands of the Iranian leadership. This is where we need to work closely with our friends to ensure our security and that of the entire region. We don't have time to waste. It is time for political courage, time to enter talks with the Palestinian leaderships from today's position of strength and reach an agreement for 2 states for 2 people. Yes, my friends, we have serious choices to make. Therefore, we must fight not only against the right, but against the opinion that suggests that we can blur the distinctions between these 2 different visions for Israel's future. There is no real center party. There is no luxury of not choosing sides. Great choices need to be made in Israel. We cannot shy away from these choices. A lot is on our shoulders of us lawmakers. It's up to us to put policy back on the table and shelve the far-right's desperate political schemes. Policy which could lead to security, to prosperity, politics of happiness. My friends, make no mistake. Today I speak with you hopeful as ever. I'm hopeful because I know my vision for Israel is better for all of its citizens. The strategic alliances with our friends and allies, the valuable and important support that we get from you, the American jury, is crucial in building this alternative. It is unacceptable to put you, our brothers and sisters, in an impassable position in which you're asked to choose between your love for Israel and your loyalty to the United States. Support for Israel has long been bipartisan, and that cannot and should not change now. It is with your unwavering support, your commitment for a better Israel, one that is dedicated to social justice, to tikkun olam, both within its borders and outside of them, that we can make the change. My friends, when we sing the national anthem, Hatikva, the hope, we sing it with the full meaning of this word, hope. Hope for politics of peace, for a political system that will fix the relationships among the various parts of our society. That's the real Zionism. That's the real hope. And I'm hopeful than ever, because I know that we have great work ahead of us. My friends, now is the time to be more hopeful than ever. Now is the time to work harder than ever. Now is the time for bold choices. Now is the time to be united, stronger, together. My friends, have no fear. More than ever, now is the time for courage. Thank you very much.